question that I hate to get, which is, what do you do? Because I think it really is an identity question. But I remember hearing a podcast with Hilary Swank one time, and she said oftentimes she gets that, and she's like, well, I'm a partner, I'm a director, I'm a producer, I'm an actor, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter. She said, I was getting so sick and tired of it, I just tell them I'm a storyteller. But how do you suggest when people get that question that they consider answering it? Because it really is someone's asking your identity. And I think most of the time we say, I'm VP of this, or I'm a professor of that, or what have you.
Yeah, so I think that again depends on the context. If I'm at a academic conference in psychology, people will ask who I am, and I might say I'm an NYU professor. So now I'm telling them I'm at New York University, which is signals to them who I work with and what type of stuff I do. If I am meeting with my students and they ask me who I am, I might just say I'm a social psychologist, because now I'm communicating to them the kind of the area of psychology I study. If I'm talking on a podcast, I might talk about myself as an author. I have a book. I identify also as an author, and that comes with a different set of assumptions. So I think you have to get comfortable that you can be a lot of different things. That all of these things aren't necessarily in conflict, and you can have all of these things. We use a quote by the poet Walt Whitman, where he says he contains multitudes. We contain multitudes, and these things aren't necessarily consistent, and it doesn't make us a hypocrite. It just means that we have multiple identities, and these can live in some kind of like harmony within us. And it allows us, actually, identities give us great power, because it means I can move from situation to situation and fit in. I'm a small town kid. I can go back to Fox Creek, Alberta, where I'm from in northern Canada, and fit in. I know what the norms are there. I can walk around and live in my community in lower Manhattan, which is like pretty much the exact opposite type of community. It's like one of the most dense urban environments in the whole continent. And I come from the smallest town to the biggest city. And there's different norms and expectations and ways of dressing and talking and different cultural practices. But I am all of those things. I can blend in and fit and respect the people and connect with them in both of those environments. There should be less pressure on people to have kind of one overarching thing. I'm a storyteller. And we should have a little bit more comfort and maybe an understanding that we are all of those things. I would say one other thing that is often helpful with this is a lot of times there's a lot of podcasts on self-help and stuff, and a lot of them focus on the question of how do I get better? I think what we should ask ourselves is, why do you care about this thing? Why am I a professor? Okay, well, it's because I love teaching and doing research. Well, why do I value those things? Well, I care about being like a good citizen and making a contribution to society. Well, why do I care about that? And now I start to see like I have values of being a human being that's going to make a positive impact in the world. So once you ask why, you start to move up levels and think about your actual purpose. If you're always just asking how, you're never kind of questioning why you're doing something. And sometimes you forget what your goals are, what your vision is, what your purpose is. And you're always just focusing on like your tactics, not kind of your strategy in life, what your real values are. And so that's kind of the other thing that identities get you to do, is sometimes they get you to think a little bit more about the why. Why am I here? Why do I care?